They will not see your hands, only the shadow they cast. In politics, that is enough. Reputation is the architecture of perception, not the truth, but the scaffolding that holds power upright. It is not who you are that moves the world, but what the world believes you to be. A ruler must learn this early, or die explaining their intentions to a mob that never cared. Let them believe you are just. Let them believe you are cruel. Let them believe what serves you best. Your reputation is not a mirror, it is a blade, forged in whispers, sharpened by fear, polished by necessity. It cuts deeper when unsheathed with calm hands. Too many waste their strength defending their goodness, as if goodness alone were proof against betrayal. They forget in times of crisis, men follow strength, not kindness. They flock to the one who looks unshaken, while others drown in appearances. This is not cynicism, it is anatomy. The body of politics obeys pain and power long before it listens to virtue. A reputation for mercy will be tested until it breaks. A reputation for wrath will rarely be challenged, and when it is, it will be by the bold, not the desperate. Better to be feared with precision than loved without control. Let admiration follow discipline. Let loyalty follow awe. Command their respect first. Their affection can wait. Your name is currency in the marketplace of ambition. Others will trade it without your consent. They will sell it in backroom conversations, spend it in their rise, bury it in their mistakes, guard it. Shape it. Spend it only to win, not to be understood, not to be liked. Understand, control over reputation is control over reality, over how your enemies strategize, over how your allies sleep. The wise leader cultivates a myth not to escape truth, but to rule over it. Not a lie, but a version of truth that bends the outcomes, because perception, once rooted, becomes prophecy. They will interpret your silence as calculation, your delay as wisdom, your smile as menace, and so they begin to move according to your imagined hand even when you do nothing. You will be accused. Let it happen. You will be misunderstood. Let it harden you. You will be hated. Let it teach you. A reputation of steel is not forged in applause. It is built in exile, in defeat, in silence. And when it returns sharper, colder, unmistakable. There are those who crave transparency. They wish to be seen, to be understood fully. But to be fully known is to be fully vulnerable. Mystery is not deceit, it is insulation. And power, like fire, must be shielded to endure. Let them see only what advances your design. The paradox is simple. To lead, you must disappear behind the mask you choose, and yet that mask becomes more real than your own flesh. Do not resist this. Embrace it. A ruler is not merely a man. He is a vessel for expectation, a theater of control, a myth given shape. Your reputation is that myth's armor. It is both symbol and sword. And what of betrayal? What of the knife hidden in the smile? Expect it. Those closest to you will one day test the value of your fall. Betrayal is not an accident. It is a calculation weighed against your power to punish it. A reputation for swift vengeance is the only real deterrent. Not laws, not oaths. Fear of consequence is the final loyalty. Reputation is not legacy. Legacy is for the dead. Reputation is for the living. It commands, protects, intimidates. It buys you silence when noise would destroy you. It buys you time when all collapses. Cultivate it not as a story, but as a signal, a warning, a presence. Never confuse honesty with openness. Say only what builds the version of you they fear to disappoint or cross. Give truth rarely. Wrap it in strategy. Let your words linger with weight, as if each sentence was a verdict. This is not arrogance. This is how stability is built in a world ruled by narrative. Power, once gained, begins to rot if left unguarded. Reputation is the seal that protects it. Lose it, and you must fight for every inch. Keep it, and you move with the ease of inevitability. Let them wonder what you are capable of. Let them whisper in corridors when you enter. Let them think twice before invoking your name. That is control. That is dominion. That is the unseen empire built not with walls or armies, but with one thing, the sharp edge of your reputation. So temper it, sharpen it, carry it always. Because the moment they stop fearing it, they start preparing to replace you. If you would rule, you must first rule yourself, and to rule yourself is to master the urge to be loved. Love is a gift given freely, and so it can be withdrawn in an instant. Fear, on the other hand, is a calculation. Men will betray a friend. They will not easily betray a master. They may grumble in the shadows, they may curse you behind closed doors, but so long as they believe your hand steady and your retribution certain, they will obey. Fear does not require cruelty, it requires clarity. It requires the will to act when others hesitate. It requires that your enemies believe you capable of anything, even what you have not yet done. Let the stories of your resolve travel further than your voice. Let the rumors of your capacity for punishment take root deeper than the truth. In power, the idea of violence often achieves more than violence itself. Those who seek to please all are consumed first. The people want stability, though they rarely name it. They want certainty, though they often demand change. They want to feel secure in their chains, yet they despise those who forge them. To lead such creatures is to understand contradiction, feed their illusions when it serves you. Shatter them when they grow dangerous. A prince cannot be the prisoner of his subjects' fantasies. He must become the architect of their fears and the author of their hopes. When their love wavers, fear holds. When their hope dies, fear commands. And when neither remains, only your strength will decide if you endure. Every man who approaches you brings his own ambitions concealed beneath smiles and gestures. He will swear loyalty, but loyalty is always conditional, conditioned by your fortune, your power, and his own opportunities. To believe otherwise is to invite betrayal. Trust is not given. It is rented at the price of your vigilance. Assume every ally has measured what they stand to gain from your death. Assume every friend has imagined a world without you. This is not paranoia, it is preparation. Betrayal is the most common coin in politics. And yet, if you are feared enough, the cost of betrayal rises beyond the reach of most. Control is not total, it never can be, but perception of control can be. It is enough that others believe you see further, move faster, strike harder. It is enough that your enemies imagine the trap before they step. It is enough that your allies think twice before shifting their loyalties. A ruler is not omnipotent. He is a tactician in a world of shifting sands. But if he holds his reputation like a shield and a blade, he can force the world to dance to his rhythm, appear calm when the storm breaks, appear ruthless when mercy tempts you, appear patient when your blood boils, appear decisive when doubt eats you alive. The theater of command is as vital as the act itself. Do not be seduced by the notion of fairness. The world is not fair, and power least of all. The strong take, the weak lament, and the clever survive. You cannot correct this order. You can only exploit it. To treat men as they should be is to destroy yourself. To treat them as they are is to bend them to your will. You must not despise humanity for its nature, nor worship it for imagined virtues. You must see it as it is, selfish, fearful, ambitious, envious, violent, but capable of loyalty when it serves, of sacrifice when compelled, of greatness when led. Shape these instincts as a sculptor shapes clay. Do not expect gratitude, expect resistance. Do not hope for affection, demand respect. You will be tempted, in moments of solitude, to unmask yourself, to discard the armor, to show the world the fragile human beneath the crown. Resist this urge. To lead is to be alone. The man behind the mask may ache, but the mask must not slip. They do not follow you for your tears. They follow the symbol you have become. And when the symbol fractures, They will turn on you without hesitation. It is not cruelty that demands this of you. It is the reality of power. You chose this path, or perhaps it chose you. Either way, the cost is yours to bear. Men speak of virtue as if it were an end in itself, but virtue without strength is prey, and strength without cunning is a beast. To endure, you must be both lion and fox. The lion terrifies, the fox deceives. Together they command. When the walls are strong, roar like the lion. When they crumble, slither like the fox. There is no shame in survival. There is only shame in weakness, in naivety, in trusting that the world will spare you because you meant well. Meaning well is a luxury for those who do not hold power. Never announce your intentions. Never explain your plans. Never let them trace your next step. A ruler whose mind can be read is a ruler already undone. Conceal your hand until the moment strikes. Then act with a speed and decisiveness that leaves no doubt. Hesitation breeds challenge. Boldness breeds submission. Even when you are unsure, act as though you are certain. The appearance of confidence is more vital than confidence itself. The masses do not see the cracks in your armor unless you point to them. There will be moments when you falter, when you lose, when the tide turns against you. Endure them with dignity, but do not mistake dignity for weakness. Retreat when you must, but let your enemies feel they have won nothing. In defeat, plant seeds for your return. In exile, sharpen your weapon and your reputation. A leader who rises from the ashes commands more fear than one who never fell. They will remember your survival longer than they remember your failure. Power does not forgive sentimentality. It rewards those who see the game for what it is, a shifting balance of forces, a theater of appearances, a contest of wills. To win is not to be virtuous. It is to be necessary. To lead is not to serve the good. It is to decide what is necessary for the survival of your state, your cause, your name. And necessity is a ruthless teacher. Reputation is the echo of every decision you make. It is the shadow that precedes you into every room. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Do not let them define it for you. Do not let them tarnish it unchallenged. Strike at slander swiftly and decisively. When your reputation is strong, your enemies hesitate. When it is weak, they circle like wolves. Remember, the battle for power is fought first in the minds of others. Win there, and the field is yours before the first blade is drawn. You will be told to be transparent, to be authentic, to be vulnerable. Understand this for what it is, a demand to surrender your advantage. The ruler who shows all his cards invites the game to destroy him. Hold something back. Hold everything back. Let them glimpse only what you choose. Mystery is leverage. Invisibility is power. And power, once revealed in full, begins to die. Sharpen your reputation until it gleams like a blade in the dark. Carry it as both shield and sword. Let them believe what you wish them to believe. Let them fear what you might do. Let them never forget that you are watching, calculating, prepared to act. For in the end, the ruler's greatest weapon is not the army he commands, nor the laws he enforces. It is the silent, enduring myth of his inevitability. And when that myth is unbroken, they will not dare to test the man behind it. Not because they love him, but because they fear what happens if they fail. The machinery of power does not rest. It grinds day and night, crushing the weak, elevating the cunning, testing the patience of every soul within its reach. To lead within it, you must become part of its mechanism, not a gear that can be replaced, but the hidden spring that moves the entire structure. And yet, even as you become indispensable, never believe you are irreplaceable. History is littered with the bones of those who mistook necessity for immortality. The wise ruler knows that his indispensability exists only so long as he cultivates it. The moment he ceases to project strength, others will begin to dream of his absence. Do not believe that transparency is a virtue in this world. It is a liability. The demand for openness is a demand for weakness. The people may ask you to bare yourself, to confess your faults, to speak plainly, but the moment you do, they will measure you against their fantasies and find you lacking. They do not want the truth. They want the illusion of truth. Give them what appears honest, not what is honest. Wrap your deceptions in sincerity, and they will thank you for your candor. Reveal too much, and they will consume you. Show only enough to keep them docile, enough to make them believe they understand you. Then, when the moment requires, reveal the part of yourself that commands, and let them wonder how much they truly know. The ruler who survives understands that men are not moved by reason. They are moved by instinct, by desire, by fear. Fear is the more reliable tool because it does not depend on the shifting winds of affection. Fear does not require constant renewal. Love must be fed with gifts and gestures. Fear renews itself in silence, in the unseen threat. It does not demand you strike often, only that you strike decisively when tested. One punishment, executed swiftly and publicly, echoes longer than 1,000 acts of generosity. Generosity itself is a dangerous indulgence. It creates expectation. Give once, and they will return for more. Give twice, and they will demand. When you refuse, they will curse you louder than if you had never given at all. It is safer to be sparing, to give rarely and with calculation, to ensure every gift binds the receiver to you with chains of gratitude and fear. Let them understand that your favor is precious because it is rare, and your wrath is terrible because it is certain. In the game of power, every ally is a potential adversary. Their smiles conceal calculations, their praise hides resentment. The man who kneels today may stand tomorrow with a blade at your back. Expect it. Anticipate it. Do not wait to be betrayed. Study their ambitions. Feed them enough to keep them occupied, but never enough to make them strong. Divide them if they grow too close. Elevate one, humiliate another. Keep them off balance. When they are at odds with each other, they cannot unite against you. It is not cruelty, it is survival. There are moments when you must betray in order to live. When the alliance you built becomes a cage, when the promises you made begin to strangle you, you must cut the cord without hesitation. Sentiment is poison to the man who seeks to endure. Do not linger over what must be done. Do it cleanly, do it ruthlessly, and move on. The world does not mourn for those who falter. It forgets them. You cannot afford the luxury of regret. If they call you ruthless, accept it. If they call you cold, embrace it. The ruler who bends to every opinion becomes a puppet for those who shout loudest. The ruler who stands firm, who acts with decisiveness, who punishes rebellion without apology, that ruler commands respect even from those who despise him. They may plot in secret, but they will hesitate when the moment comes, and in hesitation lies your victory. Appearances are the battlefield upon which all power is won and lost. Men believe what they see, and what they see is rarely the whole. Master the theater of leadership. When the state is in chaos, appear serene. When your enemies are closing in, appear unconcerned. When you are uncertain, act as though you are inevitable. Certainty is infectious. If you appear unshaken, even your enemies will doubt their strength. If you show fear, even your allies will abandon you. Understand that weakness is more visible than strength. It leaks into every gesture, every hesitation, every word poorly chosen. Discipline yourself to move only with purpose. Speak rarely, but when you speak, let every word carry weight. The ruler who talks too much invites contempt. The ruler who moves too quickly invites challenge. Measure your actions and let them resonate beyond their size. One gesture, calculated and well-timed, can shape a reputation for decades. Reputation is not simply armor, it is a weapon. A sharp reputation cuts down rebellion before it begins. It silences critics before they find their courage. It draws allies who seek to bask in its reflected light. But like all weapons, It dulls if neglected. Tend to it constantly. Correct every insult, crush every rumor, erase every whisper that diminishes you. In the quiet moments when you believe no one is watching, remember, they are always watching. Do not imagine that power is ever truly yours. It is borrowed from the fears and hopes of those beneath you. Lose their fear, and you lose your grip. Lose their hope, and they will rise against you. A ruler must balance both hope enough to prevent despair, fear enough to ensure obedience. Tip too far in either direction, and you will fall. And if you fall, do not expect mercy. Those who once praised you will be the first to denounce you. Those who swore loyalty will swear it now to your successor. Power does not forgive failure. If you cannot endure, you will be forgotten. If you endure, they will curse your name in public and whisper it with awe in private. That is enough. This is the cost of rule, the loneliness of command, the burden of decision, the cold knowledge that you are both master and prisoner of the myth you have built. You cannot lay it down. You cannot step aside. To lead is to march always forward, with no road back. Your reputation is your only true companion on that march. It speaks for you when you are absent. It fights for you when your hands are tied. It shields you when enemies close in and strikes for you when opportunity appears. Sharpen it, temper it, wield it. Because in the end, they will not remember your words. They will not remember your dreams. They will remember only the shadow you cast. And if that shadow is long enough, they will never dare step into your light. Then listen carefully. Power does not forgive sleep. It does not forgive hesitation, nor kindness mistaken for weakness. In this arena, every breath you take is contested. Every silence you hold is interpreted. Every gesture you make is weighed and measured by those who would see you fall, and so you cannot afford to move without calculation. The ruler who walks unarmed among wolves will not last the night. To endure, you must learn to see as they see, to think as they think, to anticipate the moves they do not yet know they will make. The man who commands others must first command the battlefield of his own mind. Discipline your thoughts. Weed out doubt like rot in the walls of a fortress. Doubt is felt before it is spoken, and if your enemies scent it, they will come for you like hounds on blood. But discipline is not enough. You must cultivate a presence that extends beyond your physical self, a presence that lingers in rooms you never entered and in conversations you never heard. That presence is your reputation. It is the invisible army that marches before you, clearing obstacles, silencing resistance, bending events in your favor. Without it, you are naked. With it, you are untouchable even in absence, even in weakness, even in defeat. A ruler's strength is not measured only in victories won, but in challenges never dared. A reputation for ruthlessness will protect you better than any wall. A reputation for cunning will disarm your enemies before you speak. A reputation for inevitability will make men abandon their plots before they are born. But these reputations are not gifts. They are built brick by brick, act by act, over years of vigilance and sacrifice. One careless gesture can undo them. One indulgence can invite the challenge you cannot afford. Understand this. In politics, you will always be watched by three kinds of people: those who serve you, those who fear you, and those who wait for you to stumble. The first will flatter you. The second will obey you. The third will destroy you if they can. You must never mistake one for the other. Those who serve you may grow ambitious. Those who fear you may conspire. And those who wait, they are patient as spiders. Their patience will outlast your complacency if you give them time. Do not imagine that loyalty is fixed. Loyalty is a fluid thing, a bargain struck between interest and fear. So long as you serve the interests of those beneath you, so long as they fear what you might do if betrayed, they will remain at your side. But let either weaken, and they will drift away like smoke. The wise leader refreshes their fear and recalibrates their interests constantly. The wise leader knows that today's ally is tomorrow's rival unless bound tightly and watched closely. There will be moments when you are tempted to reach for trust, to believe that someone, somewhere, sees you not as a ruler but as a man. Resist that temptation. To lead is to live behind a veil. Remove it, and you risk being seen as you are, flawed, human, mortal. They will forgive you nothing once they see your limits. Keep the veil intact. Let them worship the symbol and never glimpse the frailty of its bearer. But do not mistake concealment for cowardice. When you strike, strike hard. When you punish, punish completely. Partial measures are worse than none. A wounded enemy remembers. A destroyed enemy is forgotten. Mercy is admirable only when it strengthens your position. Mercy that undermines you is not virtue. It is surrender, dressed in noble clothes. You will be accused of cruelty. You will be called a tyrant. Let them call you what they wish. Words are weapons, but they are nothing compared to fear. If you are just, they will say you are cold. If you are decisive, they will say you are ruthless. If you endure, they will say you are lucky. In truth, you are none of these things. You are necessary, and necessity has no moral flavor. The theater of politics demands that you perform strength even when you feel none. Men follow strength as a sailor follows the North Star. They do not question its origin. They do not ask if it is real. They believe because belief comforts them. A ruler who appears strong will seem wise. A ruler who appears wise will seem just, and a ruler who seems just may not need to be so at all. But a ruler who appears weak will invite rebellion even if his heart is pure. Weakness is blood in the water. The sharks will come, not because they are cruel, but because it is in their nature to do so. Do not curse them for it. Do not plead with them to stop. Become the predator, or be consumed by them. There is no third way. To lead is to accept solitude. You will stand alone even among your allies. You will doubt yourself even as others look to you for certainty. You will lose much that once seemed precious. Friendships, ideals, peace of mind. This is the toll the throne demands. If you cannot pay it, step aside before the world collects its debt in your ruin. But if you can endure the weight, if you can bear the loneliness and wield it like armor, you may yet become something more than a man. You may become a presence that lives on in the minds of those you ruled. A presence that outlasts your body, your breath, even your memory. Reputation is that presence. It is the ghost that haunts your enemies. It is the song your allies hum when they speak your name. It is the blade they feel at their throats long after you are gone. So sharpen it, temper it, let it gleam so brightly they dare not meet your eyes. And when you pass, let them whisper still not in love, not in hate, but in awe. Because in the end, only two things matter: that you ruled, and that they remember why no one dared to take it from you. But in the end, even the strongest grip loosens, even the sharpest mind slows. Time comes for every ruler, stripping away the layers of myth, the applause, the fear, until only the truth remains. Power was never yours to keep. It was borrowed from the hopes, the fears, the illusions of others. And as you return it, willingly or not, the question lingers like a blade against your throat. What have you left behind? The wise ruler does not seek to be loved when he is gone. Love fades, nor does he seek to be mourned. Grief passes. He seeks only this, to be remembered as inevitable. To be remembered as the one who shaped the world with his hands, as the architect of order in an age of chaos, as the mind whose shadow fell across his enemies long after his body fell to dust. For a reputation forged in life outlives the flesh. It walks in the corridors of power after you are gone. It whispers in the ears of those who dare to rise, cautioning them, warning them, teaching them what happens to those who forget your example. So let them curse you, let them worship you, let them weave myths and lies around your name. It does not matter. What matters is that they remember you as the ruler who endured, the one they could not destroy, the one whose very presence taught them fear. Because in this brutal theater we call the world, there is no redemption for the weak, no salvation for the naive, no crown for the hesitant. There is only power and the memory of those who dared to wield it without apology. So sharpen your reputation until the day you fall. Wield it until your final breath, and when the curtain closes, let the silence that follows be heavy with your shadow. For in the end, the world does not ask whether you were good or just. It asks only this: were you strong enough to be obeyed? Were you ruthless enough to be remembered? And if the answer is yes, then you have already won. Even in death,